This side hustle pays you better than Uber or DoorDash. You don't need a degree. You don't even need a resume. I made over $600 my first week as a medical courier. And I did this with my Toyota Avalon. And I'm gonna show you what I do every day to get these high paying gigs and contracts. But first, what's going on, money makers? It's your boy, Alton RL here, your favorite side hustle guy. I need you to follow the channel. Take a second. It only burns half a calorie. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share this video with somebody who might benefit from this information. First, before we get into it, let's talk about some of the requirements to get into being a medical courier first. All right, so when we talk about being a medical courier, we're talking about delivering medical supplies, prescriptions, lab specimens, even machinery. I've done some of that stuff before. And again, you're doing this right out of your personal car. You have to be at least 18. You have to have an active driver's license. You have to have a registered vehicle, and that vehicle needs to be about a 2010 or newer in general for most of these companies. You're gonna need to get a bloodborne pathogen and HIPAA certification. If you don't have those, check out the link in my bio. There's a link for a bundle that gives you both certifications. There'll also be some other bonuses like some resume templates. You get some business document templates. And the biggest bonus, in my opinion, is you get a list of 75 apps and websites that you can contract with and make this money as you start your medical career journey, all right? So let me show you what I do every morning, all right? As I look for these new gigs and these new contract opportunities, one of the very first things I do before I get out of the bed, sometimes I'm even just literally leaning over the side of my bed, like with my phone in my hand doing this. But the first thing I do is I check my email. So many of you, when you're just starting out, you're not gonna get a lot of emails, but I encourage you to get an email, maybe a separate email. Don't use the email that you use for your other stuff, but a separate email that you can use just for this, because you're gonna start getting a lot of emails when you start setting up with these companies, right? I suggest that you get a professional one. The Gmail will work, the Yahoo, the MSN, whatever you have will work if MSN is still even around. But get a professional one, and I encourage you to do that because you're gonna look professional to these folks that you try to contract with. And you need any edge or any advantage that you can get, and trust me, being professional and looking like you have a legit business is one of those ways. And you can get a web domain super cheap, right? So it's somewhere like GoDaddy. And once you have that web domain, you can then get your email set up associated with that domain. So it'll be your name at yourbusinessname.com, right? So it looks very professional. This is going to appear, to them like you've got your stuff together, and they might give you the edge. I've actually talked to some of these hiring managers and dispatchers, and they say these little things matter. So get your professional email, have that set up, have it separate from your other stuff so you don't miss out on these opportunities. But one of the other daily things that I do, and this kind of ties back into checking my email, is I check Indeed.com. This is overlooked by a lot of people. People hear internet talking about this stuff. They don't talk about Indeed.com a lot, but I check Indeed.com. One of the things that I'll tell you with Indeed to kind of give you an edge is set up a profile with Indeed. This is important because what starts to happen is you'll start to get email notifications, okay? They'll start to send you emails, opportunities, because it'll know that, hey, he or she is looking for gigs, these sort of medical courier gigs in your area. It's going to know your preference, and you're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to have emails as soon as these things hit the internet. So that's one of the things that I do in the morning is I go to Indeed.com. Here, let me kind of share my screen. I got that kind of big courier, independent courier. There we go. That's what I search for. Well, let's just say Stone Mountain. I'm not in Stone Mountain, but I'll put Stone Mountain. You see that, medical courier, independent contractor. And then I just look at this stuff, and as some of this stuff looks good to me, then I'll apply for it. All right, so the other thing I do is I go to Google, and you heard me right, Google, old-fashioned google.com. Again, this is one that a lot of people don't talk about. We'll throw all these apps out there, and these apps are great, by the way, and we'll talk about some of those in just a second that I look at. But people overlook just going to old-fashioned Google. So I go to Google, and this is what I type in. And again, I do this every morning. I type in medical courier jobs near me. I'm doing this here live. I'm going to show you. So medical courier jobs near me, and let me show you what happens. So you do that, and you don't have to notice that I didn't say you have to put in, medical courier jobs near Wisconsin, Milwaukee, medical courier jobs near Chicago. Just put medical courier jobs near me. And the reason why I want you to do it that way is because I don't want you to miss opportunities that may be kind of close in proximity to you. So if you just put in your city, it may just give you literally jobs that are in that city. And I say jobs, but these are gigs. These are contract opportunities. These aren't a situation where you have a boss or something like that. So again, put medical courier jobs near me, because like me, I'm in Atlanta. So when I put near me, I might get Stone Mountain, I might get Decatur, I might get Marietta, and all these places that are close to me. So this is kind of what it looks like. When you do that, you can see here, they put a little section here on Google Jobs, and you just look at these, right? Again, this is what I do every morning. I find these opportunities. So there you go. You can see these. Here's some hourly. Here's one, delivery courier jobs in Atlanta, 1.2K a week. That might be something that I would apply to. MedZoomer, here's one, independent medical courier contractor, 150 to 400 a day. That's another thing that I do there. That's a part of my morning routine. When I get out of bed, I come into my little home office and I'm looking for these opportunities. That's another thing that I do, and you can do it too. Another website that I check out often in the morning is MedZoomer. I'll show you this one. For those of you who are getting the bundle that I mentioned in the link in my bio, there's going to be a list of 75 apps and websites. And what'll happen is you'll start to figure out the apps and the websites and the places that have the most opportunities in your area. I get people all the time, like MedZoomer for me has been very good here in Atlanta. But some people maybe one state away say, hey, yeah, MedZoomer's not for me. A website like dropoff.com. Maybe it's far better for you over there than it is for me. And maybe it's the opposite. What'll happen is once you start doing this, you'll start to know where the opportunities are, and these opportunities will change. MedZoomer may be good to me this month or this quarter, and 6 months from now, it may dry up because maybe they had a major contract that they're no longer contracted with, and maybe that changes. So the name of the game is variety, being set up with as many as these companies that you can get set up with. That's the name of the game. When people come to me and they say, hey, I'm having a challenge getting to the income goals that I want to get to, I always challenge them on how many companies are you set up with? What's your daily routine? How many do you go and look for? So variety is the name of the game. And there's another little tidbit I'll give you here kind of after this, we get through some of these. But MedZoomer is another good one. So Courier Gigs is another website that I kind of have in my morning routine. I'll check them out. It's couriergigs.com. I've got that there on the screen. So very easy to navigate through. You know, you kind of search, you go through, browse jobs, see what's in your area. So I'll just check. And it might be that some days, there might be a couple days strung together that, you know, there aren't really any opportunities. That's okay. You just have to check every day, because the day you don't check will be the day that there's an opportunity that you'll miss or you'll catch late and you'll be behind the curve. So the name of the game is also speed. You got to get to these opportunities fast, because you aren't the only one that wants these opportunities. But Courier Gigs is a wonderful resource. They're all across the country. Again, depending on where you are and you're watching this, it may be the best resource that's out there, and it could just be maybe just one that kind of presents some opportunities here and there. But couriergigs.com, add that one to the list. So Roadie is another website that I go to that's a part of my morning routine. Now, this one is actually an app, right? I've got this up just for display purposes so that you could take a look at that. But Roadie is actually an app that you'll have on your phone. This one will give you some push notifications if you've got them set up, but this is one that you could check every morning. It's a great one. Now, Roadie is not only a medical courier website. Roadie is a delivery app, but it's a wonderful resource. They have some high paying stuff. So keep that in mind. You know, when you get into this, don't pigeonhole yourself into just medical courier. Think of yourself as a logistics business. Okay. That's how I want you to think. So I'm talking medical courier. Yes, I want you to get your HIPAA and your bloodborne pathogen certification today, but don't pigeonhole yourself into just delivering medical supplies. There are so many opportunities. We did a contract the other day that was for cable modems, and I see these a lot on websites like Roadie. It was for cable modems. So you move into an apartment and you're getting cable, right? You're getting your internet or whatever it is set up, and they send you a modem. So the modem comes, the delivery person comes the next day, but they send it to your doorstep. Well, it used to come through UPS or whatever, but they've outsourced that to people like me, people like you who are over 18, who have their license and have a registered vehicle, and we deliver them. It was a really good contract. For the week, it was maybe like $800. Roadie's a good source. Add that to your daily routine. There'll be some stuff out there. It won't necessarily be medical courier stuff, but who cares? Because we want to get to that bag. But that's that. I just wanted to jump on real quick and do this video. A lot of you were asking kind of like my daily routine. How do I find these money-making contracts when you hear me talking about making $1,500 a week, which is absolutely in the realm of possibility for each and every one of you. I just kind of wanted to jump on and kind of let you know, get you into my space, what I do in the morning, where I find this stuff. But that's what I do. There's a few extra things I won't bore you with, or maybe I'll have to do another video. But that's it, guys. Get your HIPAA, get your bloodborne pathogen certification. Like I said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description that's gonna give you $100 off. This bundle is normally, I think, $197 or something like that. But our friends over at LearnWise worked it out to where I could offer this thing $100 discount. So it's only 97 bucks, a small investment in yourself. Check out the link in the bio, get that, like, follow. It's your boy Alton Orrell, your favorite side hustle guy. I'll see you in the next video. All right.